What's going on with you and all this ghost story? In the sense that this is a very heavy thing for me because as I get up in years, I'm hoping there's some sort of afterlife. I don't think there is, but you give
I'm
me
not
hope.
sure.
You give me hope, Sammy.
There's something going on, Howard. I don't know what it is, but I've been touched in weird ways sometimes in dreams and while I'm awake, and you're thinking it's a dream, and things happen. My father visited me. My manager, when he died, visited me the night they died.
Yeah, but wait a second. It's deeper than that, Sammy. What you're saying is, if I have it right, your father, hard-drinking man, tough guy.
Died under a park bench, basically. I mean, in the back of a car, a police car, but they pull him out from a park bench, you know what I mean?
And the night he dies, there's a knock on your door. You hear a distinct knock. You were sleeping or you were awake?
I got up and answered the door.
Right.
And in my house, right where I was, the person that was with me, my baby was in, I had a little 2-year-old, Aaron was a little 2-year-old boy, and I answered the door, and it was my dad. He was like in his 20s, and he was drunk and going crazy, and he was saying, "Great day for the Irish," and all this stuff, and I said, "Don't ever come like this in front of my baby." Woke him up, and it all happened. It was like a dream. Slammed the door, went and laid back down. God's truth. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
No.
And somebody knocked on the door, and I go, fucker, he's back. I went and opened the door, and it was my next door neighbor who had a telephone that was an emergency number for my sister and my family, because I was living, I was with my band. We were all sleeping in the same house and all that, same room. Anyway, and he goes, "Hey, your sister's on the phone." Look, Howard, my fur is up.
You got goosebumps.
Yeah, I do, all over my body, man. And so I just went, wow, my sister, I knew. I mean, they found out. They're 4 o'clock in the morning,
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. And that's happened
Do
to
you
me
ever
twice.
think, since it's happened, do you think maybe you were asleep or you were awake when your father visited you?
I don't know. That's too out there, man.
What was the second time it happened?
Well, my manager, Ed Leffler, who, when I joined Van Halen, when I got thrown out of it, when we were having our hard times, Ed Leffler had died. After that, the band broke up. And Ed Leffler was my manager forever, and then he took over Van Halen. And I was sitting there, we were going through hell with the band, and they had hired this manager guy who they ended up suing and all this stuff. We won't mention names, but long story short, I talked about it in my book. And Ed, I was sitting there, I was laying in bed, and I just didn't know what to do. I didn't want to quit the band, but I knew it was over. We were really at odds. And Ed comes to me, kneels down next to me in my bed. I'm going, fuck, I'm smelling him. He's a cigarette smoker, he had a certain smell about him, And I'm going, damn, Ed, what am I going to do? He says, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay, man. He says, he just came and flat said that and just straightened me right out. I said, fuck it. The next thing I know, I was thrown out of the band, and life was good for me. You know what I mean? Like, so do
you believe in the afterlife?
Yeah. I believe in dimensions. Yeah, I think there's a lot going on right in this room.
Why is everything happening to you and not me? I don't understand. I lay in bed, nothing happened. Nobody visits.
You
nothing.
can have this shit.
Does it scare you when it happens?
He'd like you to have it.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary.
Were you visited by aliens as well?
Yeah, and I had a UFO experience, and that was in 67, 68.
And you weren't high or anything?
No, I didn't do drugs. I didn't even drink back then.
And who visited?
They just randomly picked me, and I woke up while they were doing it. I'm going, what the fuck's going on? My room was white. I mean, I was like, I couldn't see anything. It was a complete whiteout. I lay there, couldn't move. All of a sudden, they said in another language, just telepathy, this is done. He's waking up or whatever. And they yelled a numerical code that was obviously, like your passcode to get into your shit,
Yeah.
And boom, it was almost like a wire in the air. And I woke up and it was black, and I was shaking and I couldn't move.
And when when you tell that story, guys like Jason look at you like you're crazy. He's back there making hand signals like cuckoo.
He's jealous.
He's jealous. Aren't you jealous?
I've never heard that story yet.
Well, he's been visited. Why him?
I just kept thinking, did they do sexual things?
Did they put a catheter up your penis?
No. There wasn't physical. It was from a distance. They programmed into me. They wireless.
Do you think they programmed that you would one day be the lead singer of a band?
No. I think that opened my mind. It was like a big acid trip, brother.